Hi, I'm Rick Reynolds, founder and president of Affair Recovery. If you're considering attending the virtual EMS Weekend, I'd like to address a few points that might help you understand. These are questions people have been asking. Understand, our current circumstances have created all kinds of challenges and uncertainties for people all around the globe. And it's led to many being paralyzed, but you don't have to be paralyzed by the pandemic. You can make choices to move forward and to heal in spite of everything that's happening right now. The EMS Weekend is going to provide an opportunity for you to grow and to heal so that at the end of the pandemic, hopefully you would be in a much better place to be able to enjoy the new freedom of our new life once COVID is behind us. If you're concerned about the effectiveness of a virtual EMS weekend, let me ease your fears. I honestly believe that we know more about providing effective virtual services for couples than anyone else in the world. Since 2008, over 12 years, we've been using virtual services for small groups for couples to heal as they deal with infidelity. We've conducted research comparing the effectiveness of our virtual programs against those programs that are in person, and have found that the virtual programs are as effective as the in-person program. So we've already done research to verify that. Now, if there's a part of you saying there is no way in the world I could sit down in front of a Zoom call for 3 days, I'm not that type of person, let me assure you, you most certainly can. In fact, what many couples have found, it's really more comfortable. You get to sit wherever you want to sit. You get to have the conveniences of your home around you if you're doing it at home. What happens when you're doing it virtually, that entire experience, you're still going to have meals with your small group. You're going to have same types of conversations. It's a little different, but it won't be, I think, what you might fear. In fact, it allows you to be very comfortable. It allows you to get up and walk around if you need to. You can make it what you need it to be for you to feel comfortable for that weekend. My wife, Steffi, and I, we have attended countless 3-day seminars. And what we've discovered is we typically come away from those weekends feeling much better, only to find that in a few weeks we slipped back into old patterns. And this is like nothing ever changed. The EMS program is designed to be different. We know that change, it requires time. It requires community, which is why we provide you a viable small group during this weekend so that you have others to travel with you on this journey through time. Included in the price of the weekend is a year-long aftercare program for you and the small group that you get to know over the weekend. It's the Aftercare program that helps you and your mate sustain the change, and even more than that, as you're working with your small group, continue to grow and continue to heal. If the mention of a small group is something that kind of freaks you out and you're going, man, I'm a really private person, there's no way I could do something like that, please let me explain. The shame of infidelity leads naturally to isolation, to disconnection from community. And COVID has made it even worse. We're even more isolated now, I believe, than probably any time in history. Healing requires safe and supportive community. Many people report that being in this small group that you may be afraid of ends up being the first time they felt normal since the infidelity, because now you get to be with others who are like you, who have gone through the same thing, who understand and are in your same pain. But even more important, the EMS community serves several other functions. Within social baseline theory, and it's about what happens in community, there is a concept called load sharing. Let me give you an example. If you take someone and place them in front of a mountain and ask them to rate the difficulty of the climb for that mountain, they'll give a number like maybe 8 or 9. However, if you place that same person side by side with another person and ask them to rate the difficulty of climbing that mountain, the number is lower, more like a 5 or a 4. That's what load sharing is. What we've discovered is that when people are working together in a group, it begins to facilitate emotional regulation so you can be more objective, not be as overwhelmed. Load sharing is critical in your healing and with your emotional regulation. With less flooding, you and your mate can be more objective, more rational, more able to talk about what happened and processing through it. You're able to stay more in the moment and see what's happening today versus being consumed by what happened in the past. If you're frustrated because your mate just doesn't get it, the small group provides the fastest way for them to begin to understand what it must have been like for you living on the other side of them, so that they can finally get your reality and begin to connect with you and take responsibility for that hurt. Your small group is going to create much needed safety and support. They're the ones who understand what you've gone through. They're the ones who are there 24 hours if you need to reach out to somebody. They're the ones who encourage you and help you to walk through those really difficult times. And they're the ones you will also help in that journey. But again, being a part of that community. A huge advantage of attending the virtual EMS weekend is also the opportunity to meet with our therapist. All of our therapists, they've experienced infidelity, and they're trained in seeing the dynamics that are specific to you and where you're stuck and the blocks that happen in your marriage. Your therapist will facilitate that small group I've been talking about, and that gives them opportunity to watch how the two of you relate. That in turn helps them when you have an individual session to meet with them as a couple to provide guidance and also make recommendations for what you're going to need as you go forward. People frequently ask me if this experience is as effective as being in person. And I want to assure you it is. If you're curious about the effectiveness, please go read the testimonials that have been posted from May forward and compare them against the ones that were there prior to us going virtual. What you'll find is that people are reporting the exact same things. They have the same positive attitude about their experience. As I said at the beginning, don't wait. Begin your healing now so that once we're past this crazy pandemic, you can feel good about where you are and the fact that you're moving forward in your life in spite of everything that's happened with the pandemic and with the infidelity. To healing.